the producer of Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, he's a genius at coming up with ideas. And it's actually an idea he used to use when he was a stage manager at a theatre. The word wasn't Bogies, though, so he's in the wings of the theatre playing a game. Think of a different word beginning with B.
Dick and Dom joining me this week on Virgin Radio 80s Plus. Hello, both of you.
Hi, Steve.
Hello.
Great to be here.
The moment you turned up, everything just stopped in our reception area.
Oh, really?
Honestly, everyone was like...
Well, you know, our audience now are 20 to 30-year-olds. It's the people that used to watch as kids back in the day.
Yes.
So now they've grown up and got proper jobs here at Virgin Radio. They're all here working.
Honestly,
and
you stopped everyone working on this floor.
Funny, but not only is it the 20 to 30-year-olds, like Rich just said, but also the 30 to 40 and 40 to 50, because the parents of those kids used to sit and watch with them as well.
Yes,
and
yeah.
now, you know, we get the same reaction from them, so it's kind of become this pan-generational phenomenon.
It is amazing, isn't it? Now, I know that you two are not old enough to remember the 80s and pick your favourite songs. I know you've had to... Come on, you've had to go back in time and do research.
The 80s was our childhood, yeah.
So I've got Dick and I've got Dom's playlists here. You allow 5 songs each. We're going to go through them during the week. Dick, can we start with yours?
We can, yeah.
And go on, what's your first track?
Well, the first album I was ever given was in 1987. It was New Order, Substance. So I started listening to a lot of New Order when I was 12 years old, really got into them as a band. And then over the years, I started learning about the history of New Order. I didn't realise that New Order were from Joy Division, you know.
Yes.
And Joy Division were a band that sadly had stopped because of their lead singer committing suicide. So it's, it's not a very uplifting story. But this song, I think, is, and it encapsulates that period. Love Will Tear Us Apart.
What a song this is. And when this song starts, tell me what you think, you know, because it kind of
that
takes
opening riff, it just sends your brain into the atmosphere, doesn't it? Wherever you are, in a car, in the house, you'll just stop and you'll listen to that and it will start, you know, really making you move. It's such a track.
Okay, lovely stuff. Dick picked Joy Division. Dom, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Virgin Radio and Virgin Radio 80s Plus.
Thank you very much.
You're going for Frankie Goes to Hollywood. These are big songs, boys.
They really are.
You haven't let me down so far.
In terms of introductions, out of these 2 tracks, I don't know who wins this race, because the introduction to 2 Tribes is astronomical.
Yes.
It starts with all the beautiful like orchestral strings, and then a little narration voiceover, and then that guitar riff starts. Ding 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 ding, and then it kicks in. After Holly does that ow ow, and it just goes berserk.
I'm kind of getting goosebumps just you describing
Here's
this.
my voice rendition of it. It really doesn't do it justice. But so again, as intros go, Dick and Dom's intros to the 80s,
yes,
pretty big one.
That is a tough one, isn't it? Which intro of those 2 songs is better?
Because they're both brilliant.
Yeah.
They both grab you
straight
within
away.
second one, don't they? There's no messing around or anything.
We were talking about it in the reception downstairs about, because we DJ all the time now.
Yes.
For the age groups that Rich was talking about, 20s to 40s. And we're actually looking for a new intro track. We thought, actually, the intro to Frankie Goes to Hollywood 2 Tribes is a belter to come on stage to, isn't it?
Yeah, oh God, absolutely, yeah.
Maybe.
All right, well, let's get into this. Dick and Dom joining me all this week on my 80s playlist. It's so good to have you both here. You stopped everything in a 17-floor building. Everyone's like, they've arrived. Oh, my God.
Nobody's shouted Bogies yet, though.
Let's talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Because that game is amazing. The whole thing was amazing. How did that start, the
Well,
Bogeys game?
the producer of Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, he's a genius at coming up with ideas. And it's actually an idea he used to use when he was a stage manager at a theatre. The word wasn't Bogies, though, so he's in the wings of the theatre playing a game. Think of a different word beginning with B. But for kid-friendly television, it changed to Bogies. So it's a game now that lives on. But we were doing an interview the other day, I can't remember, with The Guardian, and we were kind of saying, I suppose, the stuff we did like Bogies was what YouTubers do now, prank videos. And
way ahead of its time.
We were doing them like 25 years ago.
Did you know when you started this that it would become so massive that, you know, half the office have got detentions because of this game?
Do you know, the whole show, I think part of the reason for its success is we didn't have a big game plan. We had no idea that it was going to be as big as it was going to be.
Yeah.
We just got given 3 hours on a Saturday morning, 3 hours on a Sunday morning, and the people who ran the channel just said, you lot all get with each other, make a show. And we just made a show. We made each other laugh, and it grew. And Bogies, we certainly had no idea that was going to be.
Isn't that
big.
amazing?
Well, the producer just said to us, lads, you just got this afternoon, pop down the road, because we were in TV Centre, pop down the road to Madame Two Swords, just take it into us, shout Bogies, start quietly, get really loud. As loud as you possibly can in public. Have no shame. Right, so we went off and did it. And we had no idea what we were doing. And suddenly, we got this feeling, this is going to work.
Yeah.
And it just grew and grew and grew. Because it was naughty.
Yeah.
It's just naughty.
And is it amazing? All these years later, people know immediately. That game is synonymous with you two, with your shows. It's great that you have that kind of legacy.
It's become a catchphrase, really, hasn't it?
Yeah,
A lot of acts take their whole career trying to find a catchphrase, and we got one from day one.
Weird old catchphrase. Yeah. Nice to see you nice. That would have been better.
when you're in the supermarket, mind your own business, just, in your jogging bottoms or whatever, and someone just starts screaming Bogies in your face. It's great fun.
Yeah. So your next song is Happy Mondays, 24-hour party people. Amazing bass line on this. Why have you picked it?
Well, following on from what I was saying about New Order and Joy Division, I then started getting quite heavily into the Manchester scene because I lived in Manchester for quite a few years, and I think the Happy Mondays really epitomised that era and 24-hour party people, because there was a film made about it.
Yeah, the Steve Coogan.
Yeah, which was all about Tony Wilson, who was like the founder of Factory Records and all these bands that I love. And I remember Tony Wilson once said that Shaun Ryder is probably the poet of our generation, but without anyone realising the way he writes songs and his lyrics are just so poetic. And this tune really does show that.
Here's a question for you, did either of you go to the Hacienda nightclub, or were you
Sadly
not old enough?
not. Just too young,
Yeah,
I know.
Me too.
It's a shame.
And you hear all the stories, don't you? And you see that movie and you go, oh my God, that was a moment in time. And it actually placed Manchester on the world map, didn't it? The
musically,
world music map.
Oh, completely, yeah.
Great pick. Okay, excellent. Dom, over to you. It's Christmas.
Well, we're in the middle of a heat wave. Why would you not pick a Christmas tune? Do you know when you got in touch with us? We decided to pick some songs. My brain went, what song for me sums up the whole 80s and all of the artists? I thought, how can I pick an artist? And I thought, why don't I pick loads of artists? Not only loads of artists, probably the biggest names in music history today, let alone from that era. You look at the calibre of those names, from Boy George, Sting, Bono. It was massive, and you can't recreate that. We were talking earlier about a moment in time and how things organically become big without necessarily trying to be.
Yeah.
That was a perfect example of that. Bob Geldof at the helm suddenly created this huge... Bob Geldof at the time suddenly created this incredible, not only this big event, but one of the biggest soundtracks of the 80s.
And what's your favourite bit? If there was a line that was meant for you to sing along, everyone goes for Bono, don't they? And it's an incredible bit.
Yeah.
And he owned that bit. But have you got a favourite person?
Yeah, Boy George.
Boy George.
When he comes in this world, as soon as
try
his
and
voice
sing it,
comes in, it's I won't do it. But it's so clear and beautiful, his sound. For me, that's one of the moments that stands out in the
Okay, lovely stuff. Dom, it's over to you. First question, I'm going to chuck a curve. Was very unkind of me, but I'm going to do it. Favourite music video from the 80s?
Probably this next tune, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Well,
Well, nicely done, Rich. As my brain was going through the filing cabinet of 80s videos, I think you're absolutely right. This tune used special effects that had never been seen before in any music video. I think it was on MTV as one of the earliest music videos, and it was breathtaking because it used animation and live action fused together.
And nobody had seen that before.
Exactly. Might as well tell you what it is, listening, because you don't know what it is. We do. It's a Aha, Take On Me. With the love narrative between Morton Harkett and a girl, and they reached in through a mirror and pulled each other through into real life, then back into the cartoon world.
Yes.
It was mind-blowing. So not only was it a groundbreaking video, but the tune itself, if you played this anywhere, it will get everyone onto a dance floor.
Well, my next question was going to be, I know you boys DJ. You DJ at festivals in front of like tens of thousands of people. I've seen you in action. Could you put this potentially in one of your sets at some point?
I think you could, like Dom said. I think if you dropped this, people would go crazy for it, yeah. Especially on a late night set, I think that'd be quite funny. At 1 o'clock in the morning, you're playing some like drum and bass or something, and then suddenly you drop Aha.
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, the lights go off and this comes on.
Well, we do that in our sets anyway. We are mainly dance music based in our sets, but we do randomly drop in an odd track that makes people go, what on earth is that? So actually, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, we'll take that one.
It's a really good
Have
idea.
that one on me. I'll be there
It's
partying
in.
with my hands in the air. Dick and Dom, hello.
Hi.
I'm really enjoying this. You enjoying this?
Yeah,
this
great
week?
fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
Taking
so
over.
lovely. Memory lane.
Trip back to the
Wonderful.
80s.
You
Yeah.
come up with, and the thing I love about both of your tracks, they're both, you give me 5 each, but they're both quite diverse. We pick great pop, some rock as well. Public Image Limited,
Yeah.
Johnny Rotten, John Lydon. Tell me about
brilliant.
this.
Yeah, obviously the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
The lesser Free Trade Hall in Manchester was where bands like Happy Mondays, Joy Division, even Simply Red got together because they saw the Sex Pistols at that first ever gig they did in
Amazing,
Manchester.
isn't
I
it?
know. And then obviously we all know about what happened with the Sex Pistols. Then Johnny Rotten went on to do PIL, Public Image Limited. I think this is their best track.
And why?
Yeah. It's just so uplifting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's got so many quotations in it. I think Johnny Rotten's autobiography was called "Anger is an Energy."
Yeah, what a
So,
do you remember when he was on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here?
Yes.
Yeah.
The most out of control guest. In fact,
Brilliant.
I think after that season they put it in delay because
Yeah.
of all the bad language
But
and
what
stuff.
we were talking about earlier about improvisation
Anarchy,
and not
yeah.
knowing what's going to happen, and the anarchy,
Yeah.
but it's just gone now. How good was that? Because we're talking about it now,
Yeah.
which means it
20
did
years
something to
later.
our brains.
Yeah.
When he was in with the emus, wasn't it? And they start pecking him, and I won't say the word, but he was just like, ooh, and then he drops the C bomb.
Yes.
a few
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
because he doesn't care. And how wonderful was that to watch?
Yeah.
20
Joyous.
years on, what a bad man. I love it. Now listen, Don, we've got 2 more from you.
Yeah. So we can only have
Madness.
one. Which one are we going to have?
Well, it's your choice.
Ooh.
One more song to round this wonderful week. Have you both enjoyed it?
Yeah, great fun.
You
It's
know,
great
you two would be
reminiscing,
great.
isn't
We
it?
should get you into your own shows here on Virgin Radio.
Yeah.
Take over
We'll
shows.
let
It'd be
you
amazing.
take the boss out for a drink and pitch that to him.
Let me work on it. So you put 6 down. So the 2 songs. So you got a choice of
Yeah.
Madness, It Must Be Love,
Yes.
or Adam and Stand and Deliver.
It's a tough one. This
Yeah.
one both tunes remind me very much of my family and the influence that my brothers had on me. Madness. Tim, my eldest brother, was hugely into Madness. I can remember the cassette tapes. Do you remember how fond you used to be of cassette tapes? I used to take out the artwork out of the cassette
Easy.
box
And
put
open
back
it.
in.
Yeah.
Open it
Amazing.
up, and then put it back in. And the excitement you had when you went to the shop, when you eventually saved up enough money in coins and gave it to them and took that home,
Yeah.
and you couldn't wait to put it in your
I've still,
Sony Walkman.
I've still got boxes of them in the loft.
Have
What do
you?
you do?
Have
What
you
do you do?
still
I just
kept?
can't get rid of them. I'm like, no, this is history.
And apparently cassettes are now, in the
Yeah.
last year, are selling as well
right.
as CDs. I don't know
Are they?
anyone who's got a
Interesting.
cassette player, but
Yeah.
people are going out and
Right.
buying them. So
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
love that.
And just rewinding a cassette with a biro is something I would
to save your battery
Again,
power.
I can remember how cool I thought my oldest brother was when he used to be there on holiday with his sunglasses in, just literally not speaking, just rewinding, save his batteries.
Yes.
Isn't that cool? Anyway, so I digress. So I can remember the artwork of all Madness albums, and I thought which of their songs isn't necessarily the most popular, but the one that at a festival makes everyone just lift up, and it's all about energy, isn't it?
Yeah,
with
of
live
course.
performers and Madness are all about energy, and It Must Be Love is such.
I think you're
a
talking
wonderful
to yourself into madness. We're going to play madness, aren't we?
tune. Well, we
I thought
could
you were going
do.
to chuck a curveball and go, but I'm going for
But again, Adamant was a renegade in the pop scene. He delivered alternative pop so well.
Yeah.
He had that new romantic look about him.
Yeah.
And also, again, what we're talking about, that rock and roll vibe that's gone now, he really had that, but within a pop environment.
And no one else was like him. No one else was doing that. He was kind of completely like on
Renegade.
an island, wasn't he? Like you say.
Totally, and you didn't see him on many live shows being interviewed because there was a lot of kind of, oh, what's he going to say? You know, how's he going to come across?
Yeah.
And Stand and Deliver was a great tune. You had that kind of like French military drumming that went on in it, and had a great melody catch, and it had a great melody hook on there as well.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think I've talked myself into that.
Listen, should we
you
go
have,
both? Should we play
Oh,
both?
he's
Should
giving
we
us
do
an
a
extra
double
few
play?
minutes.
We've literally come to the end of this brilliant week, and you've been
that's-
so good.
One of my weak things is making decisions. You've helped me out.
Which one are you going to play
Incredibly.
first, though?
Oh, here we go. Oh, come on. I tell you what, we'll do Madness as a warm-up for
Yeah.
Adam.
Let's
Perfect.
do it.
Yeah. By the way, before you go, quick question. As we Can you believe it? Approach a Christmas season. What are you guys doing in the next few months? Can we see you at Christmas? Have you got gigs lined up? Are you booked for festivals next year? I'll let you talk.
Yeah, we are gigging all over the UK from now until Christmas, and all over Christmas this time, because some years we've done Panto at Christmas, but we're not this year. So we're just doing our gigs. Yeah,
we decided to take off a year off the stage for Christmas because when you do Panto, because we live in different ends of the UK, one of us will have to spend time away from the family, and it's kind of hard. So we just thought this year, do you know what? Let's just take a bit of time. And Panto's hard work. Really, really hard. Well, last year was great. We worked with who was in it? Ruth Henshaw, Matthew Kelly. There was
Brenda Edwards in Wimbledon. Lee Mead.
Lee Mead.
Oh, wow.
Hannah Lowther. There was a big full scale cast in a really prestigious.
But
venue.
you guys have to work like 6 days a week and 2 performances a day.
2
shows a day.
2 shows a
Sometimes
day.
3.
It really is tough.
It's really hard. So this year we just thought, let's just be kind to ourselves and DJ all over the UK. We can often do our DJ gigs and spend a bit of time off. So we will be DJing a lot, which would be great.
And next year, festivals, they're already starting to take bookings now. It's mad because they've only just finished their season and they're already booking.
You've done Carfest, so Chris Evans
that's right,
you know, so
Loved 5
it.
years at Carfest, haven't we? Previously.
Be great to have you back there one year, sometime soon.
Oh, let us know. We'll come back. What a great
We'll come out and drop Take On Me, aha.
Yes, and I'll be like, didn't they get that idea? No.
Well, I tell you what, if we do Carfest next year, we play Take On Me. You've got to promise to dance at the front of the stage, in front of the decks, to that tune.
Oh my God, I'm getting one of my heads already. Dick and Dom, it's been amazing meeting
thanks,
you.
Steve.
Thank you for being so great, and I've really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you both.
Cheers,
Thank you.
Steve.